Fans of the multinational pay television network Discovery Channel have certainly come across the popular reality adventure show Dual Survival, which follows a pair of survival experts who are trying to make it in a predetermined survival scenario, while simultaneously teaching the show's fans about how to survive in extreme conditions. Finding water and food are two of the most important things to happen when people find themselves stranded. However, building shelter and scouting one's surroundings are nearly as important. Dual Survival teaches people exactly those things, and it was quite popular while it aired between 2010 and 2016, numbering 90 episodes in 9 seasons. Some of the show's stars included Cody Lundin, Matt Graham, and Bill McConnell. The spin-off from the series, called Dual Survival Brazil, premiered in 2013 in Brazil and aired for 2 seasons. Although the show was quite popular and had a 7.5 out of 10 score on the online movie database IMDb, it was revealed during the airing of its 9th season that the series was cancelled and wouldn't be returning for another season. The producers failed to give clear reasons behind these actions, and it remained up to their fans to find out what had happened to the show. During the entirety of the show's airing, the producers had numerous problems with their cast members, and it's believed that they'd simply had enough after 9 seasons and chose to call it off. In fact, it had already been cancelled once before, after it aired its 6th season. Although the season was to have more than 10 episodes, it ended up airing only 4, because one of the 2 survival experts, Joseph Joe Teddy, was fired. Joe harmed a dog during the 4th episode of season 6, and while the exact details of the event aren't known, it's certain that the dog was injured, and perhaps even died. Joe has defended himself by claiming he was trying to rescue a cat attacked by the dog, but this hasn't been confirmed. He was then banned from the network's offices. The cancellation of the series lasted for only 4 months, as the producers found Grady Powell to take Joe's place, and the 7th season aired from the 13th of January 2016. Joe starred alongside Cody Lundin in the 3rd and 4th seasons of Dual Survival, and although they appeared to be friends in the show, Cody has revealed that he was actually terrified of Joe. According to him, Joe had a short fuse and would often aim weaponry at him, while he occasionally showed him pictures of dead bodies, apparently as a way to keep Cody in line. Joe had previously been in the army and was presented in the show as an American hero. Cody has also claimed that Joe threatened to kill him twice, first time saying that he would kill him with an ice axe and bury him on a mountain, and the second time threatened to impale him with a spear. Joe was primarily invited to star in the show because of his military background. They were searching for a replacement for Dave Canterbury, a survival expert who starred in its first 2 seasons and had also been in the army, achieving the rank of sergeant. Although Joe was indeed in the US Army, he falsely stated in his resume that he completed both Special Forces Sniper and Special Forces Combat courses. After he was fired from the show, the retired Army Sergeant Major George Davenport gave an interview to the magazine Army Times, stating that Joe was an embarrassment to the regiment and that he was fired from Special Forces Association after more than 20 soldiers had accused him of sexual misconduct. He was also banned from re-enlisting. Dave Canterbury was to star in a couple of seasons of Dual Survival, and he and Cody Lundin seemed to make a good team. However, he was sacked after the show's 2nd season. Its production team started checking their cast qualifications and found out that Dave had lied about his extensive military training. While there are multiple items which he had made up, the most interesting thing is that he wrote how he was a sniper in the army, which couldn't have been further from the truth. Dave talked about his skills in a YouTube video, saying, "Did I embellish some of the things on my resume? I did. I didn't do it to hurt anyone. I didn't do it to make things difficult for anyone in my family. I actually did it to, number 1, better my family." Cody Lundin, the star of the show's first 4 seasons, was fired in June 2014. He had his own way of survival and chose not to obey the producers when they told him to follow strict safety and health measures. Cody believed that the show should be as true as possible, and so spent the entire first 2 seasons walking around barefoot. Paradoxically, the producers had asked him in 2014 to jump into freezing water and to purposely get hypothermia, adding some drama and making the show more interesting. He wasn't expecting to be fired, as he later revealed in one of his tweets, and Cody went on to thank his fans, claiming that he would miss them the most. Matt Graham starred alongside Cody in the show's 4th season, and alongside Joe Teddy in the 5th and 6th seasons. Most of Cody's fans believe that Matt was the only person from Dual Survival with whom he really got along. However, this isn't really true. The two didn't get along for unknown reasons, but the final straw was when Matt wanted to endorse a popular product and contacted the company claiming that he was Cody's teacher and that he had taught him everything he knew about survival. The company's officials weren't familiar with Matt and thus contacted Cody to confirm this. He denied what Matt had said, and the two then stopped speaking to each other. When Cody stated that he was suing the show, most of his fans believed that it was because he had faced death threats from Joe Teddy, and also because he was mistreated by most of the cast. However, Cody had other plans. He sued the producers because of the way in which they had edited Dual Survival, claiming that they had made him look less able than he was, and that they belittled his survival skills. According to several sources, the producers had made Cody throw various materials into the ocean in the episode, after he had lost patience with Joe Teddy. Cody was carrying drinkable water, matches, and a spear, the things which should be kept dry and safe, and throwing them into the ocean made him look immature and amateur. An amateurish mistake had occurred right at the start of the show's airing. The Discovery Channel uploaded a promo video onto their official YouTube channel entitled Dual Survivor tonight at 10 p.m. EP on the Discovery Channel. It was actually a double mistake. The show's name was Dual Survival, and it was supposed to read Friday instead of tonight. Actually, the voiceover had been done correctly. Not a single so-called reality show is 100% real. It's recognized as necessary to add some drama and conflict to make it more interesting and appealing. Also, to comply with time constraints when going to air. This was also the case with Dual Survival, and many fans were dissatisfied with how various scenes were obviously fake, complaining about the producers not doing their best to hide this. A perfect example was when Matt Graham gave Joe Teddy a book of matches, which had red tips, but after Joe had taken them, the matches had green tips. Joe eventually returned it to Matt, and they once again changed their color to red. It has also been pointed out that some of the wild animals that the survival experts had caught had previously either been injured or tied, so that their escape would be impossible. A lot of drama was added by creating conflict between the pairs of survival experts. Some of them were indeed not on good terms, but most of the others were, and even remained friends after the show ended. The best example of this was the relationship between the former U.S. Green Beret Grady Powell and the hippie survivalist Bill McConnell. Grady was made to look as a strict and old-fashioned man, while Bill was full of love, hugging, and talking to trees and animals. Because of their differences, Bill and Grady were made to behave as if they hated each other. It also makes no sense that all the pairs were on bad terms, because Cody Lundin had chemistry tested with more than 20 people before they were chosen to star in the show. He has stated that he had spoken with foreign Special Forces soldiers, a Marine Corps sniper, Rangers, and Navy SEALs throughout the entire 9 seasons, but was apparently poor at the job because the most that 2 people had managed to make it through together was 2.5 seasons. The frequent changes in the show's cast were apparently not liked by the audience. The moment they would get to know a person, get used to him, and start to like him, he would be fired and replaced by someone new. In 6 seasons, 4 main cast members were fired, and after the final episode of the 6th season aired on 21st October 2015, the show lost about a third of its viewers. During its 4th and 5th seasons, each episode had been watched in more than 1.5 million households. However, the 7th season didn't even make it to 1 million. Bill McConnell starred in the 7th season and then quit, and this change in the cast again harmed the show. The show was narrated by the American voice actor from Manhattan, Paul Christie. While the younger generations couldn't possibly recognize the name, those who watched a lot of cartoons while growing up in the 90s might know Paul as Stick Stickly. This popsicle stick with attached eyes, nose, and mouth had a heart of gold and was one of the funniest hosts of the Nickelodeon show Nick in the Afternoon. Even though the producers of Dual Survival tried their best to show and teach people about surviving in the wilderness, the same situations in real life would differ. Before anything else, reality shows are made to be entertaining and to retain viewers' attention, which is why many conversations and situations are scripted. At the very beginning of some of the first episodes of Dual Survival, a line read, "On some occasions, situations are presented to Dave and Cody so that they can demonstrate survival technique." Cody Lundin has spoken about these issues in an interview with the online magazine Master Woodsman, claiming that the producers had no outdoor survival skills, but were still the ones to decide how things would be done. Fake? Well, such revelations didn't do the producers any favors.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.